In order to mat your transparency portrait, there's quite a few items you are going to need. You are going to need a black piece of 10 by 13 inch paper. I've already pre-cut that for you. You will need a ruler, some tape, pencil, scissors, your transparency that you've painted completely done, your background, and I think I mentioned scissors already, and this silver Sharpie. So the first thing you're going to do is you are going to take your black paper and you are going to fold your black paper in half. So if you hold your paper vertically, then you're going to fold it down, matching the corners and the sides. And then you're going to come up and over, up and over. We need to make sure your folding is really well done. So you need to make sure these match up, or else your frame is going to look crooked. It's not going to be right. Then you're going to take your ruler, and I'm going to measure in 1.5 inches. Now the easiest way I find to do this for students is going to be to go in and find your 1.5 inch mark. So it's kind of hard to see with the black paper. I should have maybe used a wooden ruler, but we have 1.5 inches right here. So I'm going to go into that 1.5 inches. I'm going to place this up along the edge right there, and then I'm going to draw a line here. And actually, now that I look at it, 1.5 inches may be too much. Maybe we want to do 1.25 inches. So maybe we do 1.25 inches. I think 1.25 inches is enough. We don't need 1.5 inches. So 1.25 inches in. So 1.25 inches is right here. So you have 1 inch, and then you have the second longest mark there, not the halfway point, but in between that, 1.25 inches. I'm going to measure that on all the open sides. So anywhere where I have an open side, I'm going to measure that 1.25 inches. And I'm just going to put a couple marks. And now that I have my 1.25 inches, I can take these marks and I can tie them together like this. Once you have that done, you're going to put your name at the top, just to make sure that you know that this is your frame. So if for some reason you don't finish today, you know that this is your frame. It doesn't get lost. When you open it up, your paper should look like this. You should be seeing this part here. Now if we fold this back up again, you're going to take your scissors. You are going to cut on the line. So we're cutting out the inside of our frame. And we are not going to throw this inside away. I can reuse this and repurpose this for something else. So I will have a Post-it note on my table that says this is where you're going to cut, this is where you're going to put the frame, the cut frame from your frame. So you're going to put that on that pile on my desk. So now you can open up your frame. You're going to turn it over so that it is on, you're seeing your name on the back, so you also know that this is where your pencil marks are, so we don't have any pencil marks showing on the final. You're going to take your painted portrait and you are going to place your painted portrait on your paper. Now the important part here is you can feel that this side is smooth, so this side is not the painted side. You want to make sure that the painted side is facing you. So the nice side, the shiny side, the side that's nice and smooth, that doesn't have paint on it, is facing the table. So I'm going to place this down. I'm going to make sure that all of my transparency is on the mat, that I don't have anything doing something like this or sliding off. I want to make sure it's fully on the mat. Then I'm going to use tape, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to tack this down. So I maybe need 4 pieces of tape, and they don't have to be big pieces of tape. So I'm just going to take this, and right on the edge where my tape is not going to be seen, I'm going to tack one there, one here, one up top, and one to the bottom. We're going to turn this over and just double check it. Looking good. Now I'm going to add my background. So here's my background. I can put this on top and I could maybe make my decision. Do I want it going this way? Do I want it going this way? How do I want your background to go? And I think I want it going this way. So I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to match this up with my transparency paper. Now here's where you're going to use a little bit more tape. I'm going to take enough tape where I can tape down all the way across. So I've taped down all the way across the top. I'm going to tape down all the way across the bottom. I'm going to tape down the side and the other side, making sure that I don't have any tape going off the edges, so this edge remains nice and clean. Now I'm going to flip my paper over, and then you are going to use the silver permanent marker that I have up on my table. You're going to bring your portrait up to my table, use the silver marker. The silver marker stays at my table. It's not to leave, and you are going to sign your name in the bottom right hand corner. And then leave it on my table. You are done. So that's how you're going to mat your work. Go for it. Have fun.